Hey iedereen, my name is Lotta and welcome to my nook. Today I'm going to do the mid-year book freak out tag and I can't wait. Also, as you might have noticed, my camera quality is better. The sound is a lot better. Well, I am so happy I was finally able to buy my new camera and my new microphone. I'm really happy with it, but I'm just testing it out, so if this is not the best, I apologize, but I do think it looks pretty good. Okay, so let's go on with the questions. The first question is the best book I read in 2022 so far, and it's always very difficult. I saw in a lot of people's videos that they were not able to choose one book, but I'm gonna do it. And my favorite book so far is Sea of Ruin by Pam Godwin. I still don't have a physical copy, so that's something I should buy. But yeah, Sea of Ruin, you probably heard me talk about it already, but that book is still on my mind after almost 2 months. Yeah, it's just amazing. Sea of Ruin is about a girl who loses her father and her mother, and her father was a pirate, so she decides to just follow his career, and unfortunately she gets kidnapped by someone who hates pirates. Or does he? It's a book with a lot of trigger warnings, so do check them out if you want to read the book. Then the second book is the best sequel I've read so far, and I've seen this one in so many videos. But it's A Court of Mist and Fury, of course. What else could it have been? A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas is just the best sequel I've read. And I'm sure you read it too. And I'm sure you'll agree with me. Then the third question is a new release I want to read. And this one is, I believe, for a book that has already come out but you have not read. And for me, that's Reminders of Him. I just started reading Colleen Hoover books. And it turns out I really like them. I was a little bit hesitant at first if I would like her kind of books, but I really do. I love them all. Well, I've read 3 so far. But Reminders of Him came out at the beginning of this year, and it's definitely on my list to read before the year's over. Then my most anticipated read for the next half year, and that is It Starts With Us, which is the sequel to It Ends With Us, which I just read. You can see in my June TBR video. I'll link it up. But yeah, I can't wait to read that one. Also, It Ends With Us. Sometimes it's just really good to cry about a book. And Colleen Hoover does it to me every time. So yeah, can't wait for that one. Also, for this one, I'm gonna do 2 books because there is one other book I can't wait to come out, and that is Astrid Parker Doesn't Fail. And this is the second book to Delilah Green Doesn't Care, which is my second favorite read of the first half year, I think. And this will be the sequel. This comes out in November, I believe. And it just follows her sister's story. I just really like the writing style and the story, and I can't wait for that one to come out either. Then my biggest disappointment so far, and for that I have 2 books. The first one is Dance of Thieves by Mary E. Pearson, and the next one is Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. Both books just let me down. Let me get this straight. These are not horrible, terrible books. And if you like them, I'm really happy for you. But next to all the other books I read, these 2 weren't just my favorites. In this book there was too many things happening at once and I didn't feel connected to the characters. And with this one, it was a little bit too slow paced for me, a little bit too long. But I think I'm still gonna pick up the rest of the series with both of these books because I do want to give them another chance. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood. I don't know. I don't know what it was because I know so many people love these books, but I just didn't. But yeah, so these were a tad bit disappointing. Then my biggest surprise of the year, and there weren't a lot of books really surprising for me. But one that does come to mind is Verity by Colleen Hoover. I don't have it right now because I lent it to a friend. It was my first Colleen Hoover book, and also it is a thriller. I don't read thrillers usually. So yeah, it was really surprising to see that I really love that book. And also now I'm just tipping my toes a bit further into thriller books. I have my eyes on some books I really want to read, and maybe this will be a new genre for me that I will enjoy. I don't know. Then my new favorite author, and you can probably guess it already, is Colleen Hoover. I just read my first Colleen Hoover book this year, so she is a new author to me, and I really like her books, and I can't wait to read all the books she wrote. Then a new favorite fictional crush, and for me that is Rice, whatever you want to call him, from the Akatar series. He is just amazing. I love him with all my heart, and he can swoop me away if he wants. But yeah, what's your favorite fictional crush? I want to know.
Are you talking about me?
No, I'm not talking about you. Then we have new favorite fictional character, and that is Delilah Green for me from Delilah Green Doesn't Care. If you have not read this book, please do it because it's amazing. But yeah, Delilah is just such a lovable character. I mean, she's been through a lot, and my heart, it couldn't take. So she's my new favorite fictional not crush, well, maybe as well. My new favorite character. I hope she also plays a part in the new book that's coming out with Ashwood Parker Doesn't Fail. Then a book that made you cry, and for me that is From Blood and Ash by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I can't wait to reread this book, but there was one character that died, and it made me so sad. So yeah, I did also, because this is also one of my favorite reads so far. I want to include this one, and this book made me cry, so yeah. And then the opposite, a book that made you happy, and for me that is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang. This book is about a girl who has autism and decides to hire the help of an escort to learn how to cope with being in a relationship. This book was just, there were a lot of funny things in this book. It made me really happy. It was also really sweet. Happy book. Happy thoughts. Then the most beautiful book I bought this year, and that is Lore Olympus by Rachel Smythe. Maybe this is a little bit of a cheat because it is a graphic novel, but I just really think it's really pretty, and I wanted this book for so long, and I finally got it. So my most beautiful book I bought so far this year. And then the last question is the books I want to read before the end of the year. And of course, there are a lot of books I want to read before the end of the year, but there are some books that are on my TBR that are kind of annoying me, that they're still on there, and I just want to get rid of them, but I also want to enjoy reading them. I want to read the last two books in the Grishaverse series by Leigh Bardugo. The first one, Shadow and Bone, I read, but the second and the third one I have not read yet. And I should really read them. Also because there's a new season coming out, and I just want to read them before that. So yeah. These two. And then I also want to read Book of Dust, the first and the second book. These books have just been intimidating me so very hard. I got them from my father lent them to me, and I really want to return them, and I want to read them, but they're, I mean, look. Okay, this one isn't that big, but this one is huge. But yeah, if I'm just gonna do it. If I don't read them by the end of the year, I'm gonna return them to my father, because they've been on my shelf for far too long. And then the last kind of series I want to finish this year is the Witcher series, and I'm not going to show you them all because I believe there are 9 or 10 books and I only read the first one. But I really want to read the rest, and I think the winter is going to be a perfect time to read them all. But they're a little bit difficult to read. That's why I'm a little bit hesitant and why I haven't read the rest yet. But I'm hoping to read them all very soon. So this was my mid-year freak out tag. I hope you liked it. I really liked figuring out what kind of books I was going to put to the questions. And I hope you liked seeing this video. Let me know, what is your favorite book you've read so far this year? I'll see you in the next video. Doei!